All right, so we are back. It's road check week. If you are if you're trucking through North America, first week of June is always road check, and road check is when all the enforcement agencies get together and they basically will open every scale. Every officer that's available will be out checking commercial vehicles. And a lot of people think, well, that's something they're doing just trying to get us. Well, really, it's for the public. It's actually a program that they designed years ago so that the public will see kind of what they're doing. They invite people, safety professionals, to go to the scales and check out what goes on. You can talk to the officers. But you can pretty well bet that if you're in a truck and you're trucking along somewhere in North America, whether you're going in Florida or here in Toronto, Canada, you can expect to see a scale open. It's very well publicized. It's the same week every year. It's nothing new. And you got to be ready. And I'm going to just share a story with you. Here's what happens. A lot of people get in a hurry, right? And, I've been to this scale a number of times. Used to go through them myself when I was driving, but now, I haven't been the last couple of years, but years ago I went as an observer, and a lot of times it's just the little stuff that's the reason they bring you in. And so one of the things here, let's just say we got a guy, we'll just call him Joe, okay? We've got a driver named Joe, and, he's been delayed at the customer. He picks up a load, and he's in a rush, and he's held back, and he just wants to get home. He just wants to finish his week. And so he doesn't do some of the things. He just gets the paperwork, whatever, gets in the truck, and he just goes. Doesn't do that walk around that he should have. Doesn't, do that extra check that a lot of good professional drivers know to do, and gets going down the road. And, it's been a hard week. He's tired, maybe he had a breakdown or problems at the border or whatever it is, and gets going down the road and forgets all about road check. Now, a lot of people do their inspection in the morning, but they don't realize that an inspection is something you kind of have to do all day, because if a light goes out, if something happens, and you don't realize it, that's when they catch you in the scale, right? So you do your check in the morning, you got all your lights working. Somehow during the morning, a headlight goes out or something like that. You don't notice because you don't do your walk around. And then when you get to the scale, they pull you in because of that headlight. And that's what happens to a lot of people. And so, this guy, we'll just call him Joe. He got back in his truck and he's heading out to go back home. He's in a big rush. And then all of a sudden, he gets pulled into a scale. And when he gets pulled into that scale, he doesn't realize that, he's got anything wrong with his truck. But he didn't do his walk around. And so what happens, he gets through the scale, officer pulls him over, pulls him around back. He asks the officer, how come I'm in here, I'm not overweight or anything. And he says, well, we're doing road check, and I notice a piece sticking off the back of your truck, and I just want to check it out. And he goes in there, officer shows him whatever is the problem, something sticking off the back of his load. I've seen him pull you in for as small a thing as a twig. And so he gets pulled in before you know it. And if you've ever seen how these work, if you've ever seen they've got level 1 inspections, level 2, level 3, and level 4 and level 5. There's actually 5 inspection levels. Probably the ones you would see as a driver are level 1 to 3, with 1 being the full blown, they're getting the creeper out, they're going to be underneath you, all that kind of stuff. Level 2 is where they're doing more just kind of lights, tires, just a basic walk around. They're not going to get underneath the truck. And then a level 3 normally is where they're just asking for paperwork. So 4 and 5 are more where they'll go to a place of employment and check out the yard. So for most of you at road check week, you're probably going to see level 1s. They may start out with, things look pretty good, they start out with level 3, level 2s, but it's quickly, they can go from level without you knowing it. So let's say that you get pulled in, and they decide, they notice just, let's say a level 3 is your paperwork, right? So you come in, they say, hey, show me your logbook, show me your paperwork on the load. They've noticed something sticking out the back, and they grab it. Before you know it, they go, you know what? Oh, we see something wrong with let's check your lights. And then they go around, they start checking your lights, they start checking your signals, maybe looking at your load securement. And then they go, oh yeah, you know what? I see a tire with a wear here. That looks funny. You know what? Let's check your brakes. And before you know it, you're into a level 1. You didn't even realize it. You thought he was just still walking around. That's how quickly it can turn. So what you really want to do is you want to do that walk around and make sure that you're checking out your truck before you get to the scales. So before you get back, I know you're in a rush, I know you're in a hurry, I know you're all tired, you want to get going, but do that extra walk around at the shipper and just make sure that you do have all of your stuff in order. There's no load securement issues. There's no problems with your tires. You know, just clean off your lights, do a walk around with the lights on. Just make sure it doesn't have to be a full-blown inspection that you would do for a pre-trip in the morning, but you should do that walk around so that you can see what's going to happen and get an idea that you're in good shape.